Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Students, are you listening me? Please reply. Walaikum assalam. I'm just waiting for some other students to join my class. After that, I will start my today's lecture. I hope you all are coming here and join the class. Today, we are going to start our first topic. I want to tell you again that there are two journals in your metric class, one for literature and one for language. So please purchase the journals before joining the classes on Monday. Books will be available in the market within 1 week. So don't get worried about the books. They will be available soon. Ashar, we are starting with the language. Okay. That will be easier, and it is the repetition of the important topic, most important topic today. Now I am going to start my today's lecture. It is English language lecture. I'm Mrs. Afshin Imran. This is lecture number 1. And the most important topic we are discussing today, tenses. Okay. You all know tenses very well, but it's a repetition as well as I hope you all know about the different kinds of tenses, their forms, their structures, and you are able to make the sentences of different tenses, and as well as the conversion. Yusuf Khan, please don't show me these toys. Okay, if you want to show me, show your face only. Now first of all, I want to discuss tenses today. First of all, Hassan Sumru, please remove your mask, because I don't want to see you in the mask and the cap. Remove them. Then show me your face. If you are listening me, Now, I'm showing you the definition of tense first. The word tense comes from a Latin word tempus, which means time. Now, turn off your cameras for the moment, please. Turn off your cameras. The Latin is a language actually, and the tense is now again I am starting the topic because there was internet connection problem. So the definition of tense is the word tense comes from a Latin word tempus, which means time. Anyone, if you want to ask any question, please ask me at the end of the lecture. Latin is a language from which tempus words comes, which means tense. And tense is actually showing the time. Tense is a verb-based method used to indicate the time and sometimes the continuation or completeness of an action in relation to the time of speaking. It is called the verb-based method because you know that different forms of verbs are used here to indicate the time. Time is the action or the state, and sometimes the continuation of the time has been seen, and sometimes the completeness of the time has been seen. Tense of a verb throws light on the time of an action that has taken place. Whatever that I have told you about the continuation of some sentences or some tenses, it means like continuous tenses, or the completeness of the action, it is shown by the perfect tenses. And tense of a verb throws light on the time of the action that has taken place. Now, it means that tense is showing the time of any action which has been taken place. Tense also indicates whether the action is complete, like the perfect tense, is going on, that is continuous tense, has been completed in the recent past, like perfect continuous tenses, like past tenses, or it began at an earlier point and has continued into the present, that means the perfect continuous tenses. The fourth point shows all the different kinds of sentences, tenses, as well as their structures. Now, some of the students are again very much late in the class, so please be there on time. Now I'm showing you the kinds of sentences. You all know that there are three tenses in English grammar: present tense, past tense, and future tense. Present tense explains an event that occurs in the present, like now, whatever is going on, it is present. Past tense explains an event that occurred in the past, whatever has been completed, it is past tense. And future tense explains an event that will occur in the future. Okay. Now, I hope you are understanding and you all know these things very well. Now, first of all, I'm showing you present tense. Present tense refers to an action that takes place at the moment of speaking. Like I am speaking at this moment and you are listening at this moment. So, whatever is going on at this moment, it is present tense. Some examples I'm showing you here. The children go to school. You can see that first form of verb is used here. So, children is the plural, so we use first form. The children are going to school. The children have gone to school. The children have been going to school. You see that all the four examples are showing the four sub kinds of present tenses. Then we come to past tense. Past tense refers to an action that took place in the past. Some examples are showing here. The children went to school. That is the second form of verb. The children were going to school. The children had gone to school. The children had been going to school. Now we come to future tense. Future tense refers to an action that takes place in the future. Some examples I'm showing you here. The children will go to school. The children will be going to school. The children will have gone to school, and the children will have been going to school. Actually, these four kinds or four examples are showing four kinds of tenses, four sub kinds of tenses. Now, today's lecture is about the indefinite tenses. We have to cover the indefinite tenses today. There are three types of indefinite tenses. You all know it very well. Present indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, and future indefinite tense. Now, please, girls and boys, I will solve all your problems. I will sort out all the problems after the end of the lecture, okay? Because someone wants to disturb us and leave him or her, whatever is there. Don't get worried and just listen and concentrate on the lecture. Now we come to present indefinite tense. Present indefinite tense denotes habitual actions and universal truths. It means whatever is doing again and again on daily basis, these are all included in present indefinite tense, and all the universal truths are also included in present indefinite tense. Now I'm showing you the structures and examples of different sentences used in present indefinite tense. You all know that we do present indefinite tense in three forms: affirmative form, negative form, and interrogative form. And you all know it very well that affirmative sentences means the sentences which give the positive meaning, negative sentences are showing the negative meaning, and interrogative sentences are used to ask questions. So first of all, we are discussing affirmative sentences. There are two structures used for affirmative sentences, okay? And remember that for present indefinite tense, we are using the first form of verb. For first person and second person singular and plural plus third person plural, we use the structure subject plus verb first form plus object. But for third person singular, we have little bit different structure, that is subject plus verb first form plus s or es plus object. Now remember that s or es is option. So please try to understand that these are persons, means the personal pronouns, subjective pronouns which we are used in different tenses like I, we, you, he, she, and they. And you should remember about the persons. So for the third person, that is he and she, we always use the first form of verb with s or es. Now I'm showing you some examples of affirmative sentences here. I write a letter, we write a letter, you write a letter, he writes a letter, she writes a letter, they write a letter. Now you can see that full stop must be placed at the end of all affirmative sentences, and under the bracket I have shown you the persons, which persons are used here, like first person singular I, first person plural we, Okay, similarly, you can see that all the personal pronouns are used here, which are used as subjective pronouns. And remember, for third person singular, we are using the first form of verb with S. Okay, remember this. Now we come to the first person and second person. For third person for negative sentences, their structures are shown here. Subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object, and the helping verb is do here. Now you should remember that for negative sentences we must show the negative meaning, and for that reason we are adding the word not after the helping verb. But if there is no helping verb present in the sentence, like affirmative sentence, we must add the helping verb first and then we add not after that. Okay. So there is no helping verb in the affirmative sentence, so we add helping verb do here. Remember, for first person, second person, singular and plural, and third person plural. But for third person singular, we have different helping verb, that is does here. Otherwise, the structure remains same. Subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object. Now there are some negative sentences which the examples of them are showing here. I do not write a letter. We do not write a letter. You do not write a letter. He does not write a letter. She does not write a letter. And they do not write a letter. Again, you can see that for third person singular, we have the different helping verb, does. Otherwise, we are using do as a helping verb for other persons. After that, we have added not to make the sentence negative. Now I am showing you interrogative sentences. Their structures first. Structures are used in two ways. For first person and second person singular and plural plus third person plural, we are using the helping verb do. But remember, for interrogative sentences, we always start the sentence with the helping verb, okay, to make it interrogative, and end the sentence with the question mark. Okay, now the structure is helping verb plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. The helping verb is do here. But for third person singular, we have different helping verb, that is does, and the structure is helping verb plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Now, remember to place a question mark at the end of all interrogative sentences, as well as placing full stops for affirmative and negative sentences. I hope you have understood till here. Now I'm showing you some interrogative sentences examples. Do I write a letter? Question mark. Do we write a letter? Question mark. Do you write a letter? Question mark. Does he write a letter? Question mark. Does she write a letter? Question mark. And do they write a letter? Question mark. Again, you can see that under the brackets, I have shown you that the persons and the subjective pronouns which are used here. Now remember that I, it is the first person singular pronoun, and it is used for every time whenever it is used in between the sentence or wherever it is, it must be written in the capital form. Remember all these points. Now we come to past indefinite tense, which denotes an action that took place in the past. Don't get worried, students. I will remove all of them. Okay? Whoever is disturbing the class. Now I'm showing you the structures and examples. I'm showing you structures and examples for past indefinite tenses. Again, we are doing affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. But there is Only one structure used for all type of persons. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural, we have the same helping verb, subject plus verb, second form plus object. Remember that for for past indefinite tenses, we always use second form of verb. Now I'm showing you the examples. I wrote a letter, we wrote a letter, you wrote a letter, he wrote a letter, she wrote a letter, and they wrote a letter. You can see that I have placed full stops after the end of each sentence in affirmative forms, because you should know that the punctuation marks, whether the full stop, whether the question mark, they are showing the completeness of the sentence. Otherwise, it remains incomplete. So please be careful about adding the punctuation marks. Now I come to the negative sentences. Only one structure is used for all the persons. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural. We have the same structure: subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object. Full stop. Helping verb is did here. Now remember that if we are not having any helping verb, we have to add helping verb first, and after that we add not for making the sentence negative. And here the helping verb which we are using is did. Remember one more thing, when we are using did as a helping verb here, we change the second form of verb into the first form. Now some of the examples of negative sentences I'm showing you here. I did not write a letter. We did not write a letter. You did not write a letter. He did not write a letter. She did not write a letter. They did not write a letter. Okay, I hope you are understanding that it is the helping verb, and after that I have added not to make the sentence negative. Now I'm showing you some of the past indefinite tenses, but in interrogative forms. The structure remains same for all the persons. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural, the structure remains same. Now remember, for interrogative sentences, we must use the helping verb in the beginning of the sentence. Helping verb plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Now helping verb we are using here is did. Remember all those points which I am repeating again and again. Now remember that whenever we use the helping verb did here in the beginning, then we change the second form of verb into the first form. Now I'm showing you some of the examples for the interrogative sentences. Did I write a letter? Did we write a letter? Did you write a letter? Did he write a letter? Did she write a letter? And did they write a letter? With the question mark at the end for all sentences. Now remember one more thing which I have already told you, that I, which is the first person singular pronoun, it must be used in the capital form, whether it comes in between the sentence or in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, I hope you have understood till here. Now I come to the future indefinite tense. Future indefinite tense denotes an action that will take place in the future. Okay, you should remember all the actions that will take place in future. They will come in the heading of future tense, and I'm showing you the structures and examples of future indefinite tenses. We are doing in affirmative form, negative form, as well as in interrogative form. Okay. So first of all, I'm showing you the structure of the affirmative sentences. Only one structure is used for all the persons. Okay. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural, we have the Structure, subject plus helping verb plus verb first form plus object, full stop. Now the helping verb is will here. Now remember this thing that will is the helping verb used for all future tenses, and always first form of verb is used after the helping verb will in affirmative sentences. Now I am showing you some of the examples for affirmative sentences. I will write a letter. We will write a letter. You will write a letter. He will write a letter. She will write a letter. And they will write a letter. Now you should remember that all the persons are used here and same structure is used for all the persons. These I, we, you, he, she, and they are used as the subjective pronouns, and these are personal pronouns as well. So here it is written under the bracket which person. I hope you have understood till here. Kindly reply whether you are understanding or not. Please reply in the chat box. Reply please. Okay. Now I come to the future indefinite tenses. In the negative form, only one structure is used for all the persons. Okay, Nawal, very nice of you. You have given me the reply. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural, only one structure is used. Subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object, and the helping verb is will here. Now remember, for making the negative sentence, we add not after the helping verb. If helping verb is not present in the sentence, we add it. But if it is already present in the sentence, we just add not after the helping verb. And verb is used in the first form here. Now I'm showing you some of the examples of negative sentences. Please turn on your cameras. Open your cameras, girls and boys. Now I'm showing you some of the examples. I will not write a letter. We will not write a letter. You will not write a letter. He will not write a letter. She will not write a letter. They will not write a letter. Again, you can see that helping verb is same for all the persons, and not is added after that to make the sentence negative, and full stop is placed at the end of each sentence and every sentence. Remember this. You have to be very careful about the punctuation marks. Now I'm showing you the interrogative sentences in future indefinite tense. You all know that interrogative sentences means the sentences which are used to ask questions. So it means we are using the helping verb in the beginning. Okay, remember this thing. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural, we have the structure helping verb plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. The helping verb is will here, and we use the first form of verb. Now I'm showing you the examples for interrogative sentences. Will I write a letter? Will we write a letter? Will you write a letter? Will he write a letter? Will she write a letter? Will they write a letter? Question mark. All the sentences end in question mark. Now remember one more thing which I'm repeating here again, that the pronoun I, it is used in the capital form whether it comes between the sentence or in the beginning of the sentence. So please be careful about placing the I in the capital form. I hope you have understood till here. If you have got any question, please ask me. First of all, I am telling you that actually yesterday was the orientation day. So there was no homework yesterday. But I will give you the homeworks from now onwards. Okay. If you have got any question, ask me here. Do you have any question? Actually, book is not available. English literature book is not available in the market right now, but it will be available within 1 week. So you can go to the shop on Saturday and ask about the book. Anything which you have not understood, Anusha, what you have written? No, miss, I can't understand the meaning of your reply. Okay, I will see. Now, please tell me, are you listening my voice or not? Because some people are saying that they are not listening me. Okay. Nida, please check your connection. Because nowadays there is continuous net problem all over the city. So we have to take the classes in this condition. Yes, Anusha, I have done some of, I have blocked some of the people here. If you have got any question, please ask me. I want to remind you that you have to purchase 2 journals for English, English literature and English language. Remember, okay? And don't make any portion in any of the journal. Okay. We will continue the classes from today. So you know that yesterday was orientation day, so there was no homework assignment. But according to the schedule, I will give you the home assignment from now onwards. So please be careful about that. Go through the Google Classroom to see the video as well as to see the assignment if it will be given. And you should be very careful about the submission date, because if you want to get the marks, you will submit on time and with uh, in your own handwriting. Remember this. If you are not doing your work in your own handwriting, then you will not get the marks. Yes, Yusuf, there are copies are not available in the shop. I don't know about that. I will ask. Okay, please go and till Saturday again and again go and ask about the copies and the journals from the shop, because from Monday onwards we will start the written work. Now, one more thing I want to tell you that whenever you are taking the class, you should be having a rough notebook so that you can write the important points about the lecture or any question which you want to ask at the end of the lecture. So please, you should be having a rough notebook. If you want to note any point, it will be easier for you then. And do practice of tenses again and again in your rough notebooks in your home, and make any sentence and try to change it into different forms of tenses so that you will do the practice. I want all of you to be 100% perfect in tenses so that you will be able to do the voices and the narrations after that. Anything which you want to ask any other person? If you have not understood anything, you can ask me. 2 minutes are still left. Students, are you listening me? If you want to ask anything, please ask me here. No, Yusuf, when I will end the meeting, then you will leave. Okay? You are not allowed to leave the class before the end. When I will end the class, then you will leave. Okay, I think you all have understood, and I am ending my lecture here. Inshallah, we will meet tomorrow, and please be there on time. Okay? Allah Hafiz.